Welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. I am Kevin, the host, and with me is my co host, the wrestling enthusiast, Mark. What's going on, man? Our first live show. We've always been pre recorded. First live show. What's going on?
Hopefully, we don't fuck it up and mess it up.
Yeah, before we get started with the recap of the Elimination Chamber, please hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. I have some great things. We have some great things coming up on Tuesday. We're going to be doing the recap of Monday Night Raw with B. Brian Blair and, of course, Bob Cook. So excited about that. So, again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get on with the recap of Elimination Chamber. It was a really good PLE. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. I don't have too many complaints about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
I think the worst match of the night was and when I say worse, I mean if you compare them to the rest of the matches, it was definitely Trish Stratus and Tiffy Stratton. That match didn't think it was that great.
well, I didn't think it was bad, but yeah, compared to the other ones, it didn't shine as bright. I guess I'll say.
Right, right.
Uh,
I agree.
Looked great. Tiffy looked good. Nia Jax looked good. The Poison Pixie, you know, she is what she is, and she actually had a good match too. But anyway,
Yep.
we'll start out with the women's elimination chamber. After all the women were in and they were ready to start, the lights went down. I thought it was going to be the Wyatt Six coming out. Nope. Jade Cargill came out in all black and looking like $1,000,000, to be honest. Liv lit up like a Christmas tree, thought she was going to get her butt handed to her, and all of a sudden, Jade just took after Naomi and beat her like a redheaded stepchild. Um, she beat her so bad that actually Naomi couldn't compete in the rest of the match, to be honest. So she was eliminated right off the bat, even though
Yeah.
she started.
Right. And I have to give props to Morgan because her facial expression when Jay Khan came out was incredible. I mean, she really sold that well.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Now I don't know if they foretold her the storyline or they just let it go and Liv thought she was going to get beat, but she sold it absolutely well. All right. So, anyways, we don't have to go into the details of who pinned who or whatnot. I guess it was disappointing that Alexa Bliss did not win, but Bianca pinned Liv for the win.
Yep. I don't hate that Bianca won. I just wish it had been Alexa Bliss. Nonetheless, this is going to be one hell of a match between Rhea and Bianca.
Instead of
Um,
instead of a David versus Goliath.
right, right. The elimination match, the women's as a whole was uh, it was really good. They really set the bar for that show that those that followed had a very high bar to feel, including the men, which we'll get to.
I was really kind of surprised because normally women's matches aren't too fast paced. This was pretty fast paced, to be honest. I was rather taken aback how fast paced it was, to be honest. I'm not accustomed to that with women's wrestling. I think it's more methodical and thought out. I think, um, but this is surely a fast paced endeavor. So
Right.
hats off to everybody that was in that match.
Yeah. Completely agree.
All right, so next we go to Trish and Tiffy versus Nia and Candice LeRae. Trish looked really good, I thought, to be honest. For being 46, 47, or whatever she is, she looked really good. Um, and as I mentioned to you last night, and maybe in a text message, Tiffy looks like she could be her offspring, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy how much they look like. They both Tiffany and Trish. I'm getting so much feedback. It's crazy. They both looked good last night. Give me one sec. Uh, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm getting a lot of feedback right now. Yeah, they both looked good last night. Tiffany, the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of worrying about what's been going on with her because she just hasn't looked that great in the ring, both in her performance and with the her mic skills. Last night, the ring is like she pulled it all together. She looked good last night. Hopefully, she can continue looking as good as she has been with the build up to WrestleMania and then actually at WrestleMania against Charlotte Flair.
That's a lot to ask for somebody that hasn't had that much exposure, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're in front of what 38,000 people, I'd be a little jittery too.
Oh, I would fail. I mean, I'm not saying I could do any better than her, but at the same time, she was picked to hold that title. So this is her opportunity to show that she could hold it together and be the world champion.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so next we go to Sammy versus uh, Kevin Owens. This is a brutal match. They threw everything at each other but the kitchen sink, I think. And they might even slip that in when I wasn't paying attention. Um, After the match, KO still tried to go after Sammy, tried to give him that pile driver, and all of a sudden Randy Orton's music hit. And yes, this was a good match, but Randy showing up just raised that next level, you know. So Randy and Kevin started going at it, and eventually Kevin just bailed and left. Um, but Randy looks great. Randy looks phenomenal.
And this is the best Randy has ever looked, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. So
And as far as the match goes, look, we have both been saying that we have seen, KO versus Sami Zayn so many times, but we've also said that we know it's going to be a good match, and they delivered. This was saying this is the best match of the night. It's either this match or the match with Trish and Tiffany, right? This was the best match of the night, but they didn't have a whole lot of competition. They didn't have 5 or 6 matches for us to judge from. So between the two, this was the best match. And again, I mean, it was great. I don't know what else you could say about it. I mean, the match was great. Randy Orton coming back was a great surprise. He looks better than he ever has. And the man's almost, 45, 46 years old. Yeah, it's incredible. It really is incredible. And I'm very, very curious about what they're going to do with him at WrestleMania.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be him and Kevin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
We as far as we know, they so there was reports that Sami Owen, I mean Sammy Owen, Sami Zayn was out. He was injured, which is kayfabe. Looks like he's going to miss WrestleMania, but you don't know. Sammy could come back, a week before WrestleMania and attack Kevin and get himself included. We could see a three-way match between the three of them. We just don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because Sammy had that neck injury, 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden he's wrestling, a non-sanctioned match. I guess if you're worried about your neck that bad, why would you do that? You know,
Right.
that's just crazy. I would have waited for WrestleMania. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
whatever. So next we go to the men's elimination chamber. Really wasn't a big surprise who would win, not to me at least. Logan Paul, hell of a frog splash, to be honest. I see a lot of feedback, people digging on Logan Paul. I'm sorry, but for this guy's ability versus amount of time in the ring, this kid is phenomenal. I'm sorry. Like him or not. And if you don't like him, then he's doing his job. But this guy's got skills for the amount of time in ring versus the amount of time that he's been available. This guy's got it. You know,
Right.
whether I like him or not, this guy's got it, and he'll probably be world champion if he beefs up maybe 15 pounds. He'll probably be world champion. Hard pressed not. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me say this real quick about Logan Paul. For those who didn't watch the interview beforehand with Logan Paul, the pre-show, he cut in many ways a babyface promo. He talked about the different people that he was going to be facing in the Elimination Chamber, and that part he was kind of heelish. What was kind of a babyface part of it, though, is what he said. Look, I'm not doing this because I want to be rich. I'm already rich. I'm not doing this to become famous because I'm already famous. I'm doing this full time now because I love professional wrestling. He even went and talked about all the different things people were saying about him before he became full time. And he said that he hated it. It pissed him off because it was true. He was a part timer. And this is why he decided to come and do this full time. I like the guy. Does he make me want to punch him in the face? Yep, he's doing his job. He gets and he's able to get to my emotions and makes me want to smack him around. Does he have a face that makes you want to punch him? Absolutely. I think that's what makes him a natural heel. Is he absolutely fantastic in a ring? Fuck yeah, he is. I mean, I can't think of one wrestler in that amount of time that he decided to do this between him deciding to do this and his first match, who looked like he did in his very first match. The man looked like he's been doing this for 10, 15 years. He's incredible. So yeah, I really enjoy watching him, and the matches that he's in, those are the matches I look forward to seeing, regardless if it's on the PLE or a weekly show.
You know, I think if you watch like Miz and Mrs., it's hard not to like the Miz. All right.
Right.
Regardless if he's a heel or a face. All right.
Right.
You watch that show, he's a likable, normal guy. All right. Despite his character on WWE. Okay. I think Logan Paul, I think, can be a similar cast where he's, generally probably a likable guy, but he can be an arrogant shithead. All right. But I think what he said yesterday, and I missed it too, but you told me about it. I think the fact that, he got called up being a part timer, he didn't like it. So he devoted his time, cleared his schedule or whatever, and devoted his time to be a full time wrestler. Props to you. All right. But I guess if you're going to do this in the first place, that's what the first thing you should have done. But whatever. Maybe you had prior obligations. I don't know.
And something else he added too was, and I agree with him. He said, if I am this good as a part timer, imagine how much better I'm going to be as a full timer. And he's talking about his in ring ability, and I agree with him. I mean, I can't imagine him being any better than he is. I mean, he's just that good. But holy shit! I mean, if this guy does this long enough, full time, he will. I can absolutely see him going to the Hall of Fame. And I know that's early to say yet, but if you're just basing it upon his mic skills already and his in-ring ability already, and imagine if he does this 5-10 years, I don't see how they couldn't put him into the Hall of Fame. And I can only imagine how much better he's going to get.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought was missing from Elimination Chamber, based on Friday Night SmackDown, is they should have had Elimination Chamber tag team, because all them guys acting on Friday night was phenomenal. And I'm sorry, I read today, Logan Paul has the best frog splash, and I had to
I disagree with that.
I had to chime in because as much as it pains me to say this, Montel Ford currently probably has the best frog splash. And someone posted that, oh, RVD got the highest. And I said, nope, I disagree. Montel Ford gets higher than anybody I've ever seen. And it pains me to say it because RVD and Eddie Guerrero had probably the best frog splashes I've seen. All right. It really pains me because I love Eddie and I thought Eddie had the best one. I think for finesse, Eddie had the best one.
Yep. Yep.
Montel Ford gets higher than anybody I've ever seen.
Mark, I think my feedback that I'm hearing isn't feedback. I think your feet being towards your phone
Oh,
is adding all that static.
yeah, because I'm rubbing it on. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Sorry, I'll stop that.
That has been the mystery. Motherfucker. Me and my wife has been spending so much time trying to figure out the why, and it's you.
Here,
When
let's
you
stop.
come back to my house on Sunday for that PLE for the AEW pay-per-view, you know what? No dessert at all for you. You're already limited to one piece. Now it's no dessert at all.
Hold on. Let's test that theory. Ready?
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
You
that's
son
it.
of a bitch.
All right, glad you figured it out. I'll stop it. All right. So, anyways, yeah, I don't want to discredit anybody's frog splash, but
Right.
Montel currently has the best one, and there should have been a tag team elimination last night. There really should have been. There was only 4 matches last night.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. Look, Montel is absolutely great. I will go as far as though saying that um Logan Paul has the second best. I wouldn't judge last night because there's only so high that he could go, and almost only so much room that he can actually jump because of the how the elimination chamber cage is. But if you watch him for a normal match, he absolutely is probably the second best. Now the thing about Montel Ford is not only is it just the height, but it's also how far he could jump. When he performed that frog splash, and I think it was one of the MTG, the Motor Machine Gun guys on SmackDown. This guy was further than half of the length of the ring, from the ropes where he jumped from, and he nailed it. This guy is just damn good, Montel Ford. Period. If they ever break up Private Party, he's going to be the one that's going to be the stardom.
Private Party.
I'm not Private Party.
Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits, dude. They are so similar for some reason. They remind me of one another, and I already have mush for brains from injuries. So the Street Profits. If they ever break up the Street Profits, it's going to Montel Ford's going to be the star.
I don't know because Dawkins has really lit it up lately too, though.
Dawkins does. You're right, but this is the thing. Dawkins doesn't have the finesse that Montel does on the mic. Dante doesn't have, or Dawkins doesn't have that presence and that look that Montel has. I mean, this guy definitely has a strong presence about him, and he is just ripped. I mean, he has a physique like the demon
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. I mean, he's just taller, but he has a physique like Finn Balor. I mean, very little body fat. I mean, this guy looks really good, and I think that he'll be the star.
He's 2% body fat all day long.
Yeah,
I think he was a former drill sergeant too, so that probably attributes to it.
yeah. I mean, look, Montel called me one time and said, "Look, Kevin, I want to have the body that you have," and I'm like, "Nah, man." I don't think that, it works for me, but it doesn't work for you. So he was disappointed, but he decided to keep it at, that 2% body fat, if not less. Yeah. So okay. You're welcome.
All right. So anyways, John Cena went in the Elimination Chamber by basically putting CM Punk out, which kind of surprised me, but okay. Which I think opens up CM Punk for Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, which kind of excites me, but kind of doesn't excite me.
Yeah, I was upset. I was upset because That was my guy. So CM Punk was my guy. Hold on. You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. All right.
No, I can't hear you. Nothing. No, nothing.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys.
It's all right.
Yep. So yeah, CM Punk was my guy. He's the one I had picked to win. But I tell you what happened, what ended up happening, I prefer to see that than CM Punk winning.
Yep. So after that, Brock came out, called on Cody Rhodes, asked Cody if he's ready to sell his soul, and Cody pretty much said he sold his soul to the fans a long time ago. And John Cena was all in the background, all excited and happy, whatever. And they end up embracing, and The Rock.
Hold on, let's stop, because we heard something that we've never heard on WWE before. Cody didn't just say no. Cody told The Rock, "Go fuck yourself." That was kind of a big deal that the word "fuck" was used, because I don't remember ever, not even on pay-per-views, the word "fuck" ever being mentioned. And I tell you, the fans lost their shit when Cody Rhodes told The Rock to go fuck themselves. Now, what was a little distracting for me was, and here's the question, why the actual fuck was Travis Scott involved in this, involved in a ring, doing his little fucking, lighting the
Stage.
Why? That part was just so, this was almost perfect. And I'm sorry, Travis Scott being there, and I know a lot of fans may say I'm nitpicking, but I'm sorry. Travis Scott being in the ring, doing the shit that he was doing, was so stupid that this went from a potential 4-star segment to our 5-star segment to being 4.5-star segment to me. That's how dumb it was to have this kid in there. He didn't add anything, nothing. So go. That's my bitch session. Go ahead.
Anyways, Cody and Cena end up embracing. Rock gives a kill signal, and John Cena pulls away and kicks Cody in the nuts. Then they proceeded to do a beatdown on Cody Rhodes. So John Cena turned heel last night.
Yes, John. Go ahead.
I think the crowd actually enjoyed, to be honest.
Yes. This was 20 years in the making. John Cena / FBA, JBL. And the reason I say / JBL, fans, go back to watch this and pause it when John Cena is making his poo-poo face, his angry poo-poo face, as they call it. You put a cowboy hat on his head. It's fucking JBL.
Yep.
JBL.
Yep. And you said it right before I said it, because, yeah, there was definitely a striking resemblance between JBL and John Cena. A strike.
Yeah, absolutely. But I loved it. This is 20 years in the making, and John Cena turning heel is basically John Cena finally. Fans have been asking why now, right before he retires. This is John Cena flipping off the fans right before he retires because of 20 years of bullshit from the fans booing him whenever he was a baby face, and all the shit they said about him, that he wouldn't sell for people. This is absolutely his fuck you to those fans. Now, I love that John Cena turned heel, but that's not enough. He needs to come out to new music. The music he has just won't fit his heel turn. And I hope he comes out wearing something that is very heelish instead of his fucking shorts and cheesy t-shirt. I have a feeling that's going to happen because remember, it was The Rock that branded him fucking Fruity Pebbles. So I have a feeling that that's going to happen. You need to sit like an Indian because I still hear your feet moving.
Dude, I haven't moved my feet. Trust me.
Really? All right. But yeah, I think that this has potential to be big. Now the issue is that we won't see John Cena for a while because as soon as he left the elimination chamber, he had to get back on the airplane, get it on a jet, and fly to Africa for a movie. So, and to me that kind of takes it takes away from what happened last night, knowing that we're not going to see him there for a while because now it's going to be The Rock coming and basically speaking for him. I have a feeling that we're going to see what we've seen when John Cena and The Rock was fighting a year before WrestleMania. A lot of The Rock promos was done via satellite. I have a feeling that's what this feud's going to be is Cody Rhodes talking to a screen.
Could be. Nonetheless, this isn't the end of the line for John. John will redeem himself somewhere before he retires because he's got to take care of his Make-A-Wish record and whatnot. So, this isn't the final song on John. Everybody on the internet, oh my God, John's going out as a heel. No, he's not. Trust me. He's not going out as a heel.
No.
He'll redeem himself, shortly before he retires. And then people saying WrestleMania is going to be his last match. That's not the case either. He's, they repeatedly said he's got 9 or 10 months left, to take care of business, so unless John gets injured, WrestleMania is not his last match. So
no, his last match is going to be at a December pay-per-view. I've heard that it's going to be they're actually making a pay-per-view just for him that's going to be called the aggression era, the attitude no, what was the era? The aggression era, right?
Yeah, aggression era.
Yeah. So it's going to be called the aggression era pay-per-view. It's going to be a pay-per-view that supposedly for him. Don't know what that means. Don't know if we're going to have some nostalgia acts coming in, but yeah, ruthless aggression. That's what it is. It's going to be a ruthless aggression. That's what it's going to be called, from what I'm hearing.
Well, to be honest, John didn't look too bad last night. He's still got the same skill set he always does, but he actually countered a couple moves, which I was impressed with. But for the most part, for his age and being in as inactive as he is, he really doesn't look like he lost too much.
Right. No, I agree. People were saying that the reason why he came into Royal Rumble at the number that he did was because he couldn't handle being in the ring that long. He looked good last night. It didn't look like he really was winded at all. But also part of the match, he was laying down, supposedly hurt until he was, he did his part. So we'll see at WrestleMania how good if he actually is in ring shape or not, because there's not going to be any hiding, nothing like that. I mean, him being in ring shape or not, it's going to be exposed at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is though, he's got to fulfill his obligations to Hollywood. All right. And the last thing they want is for him to get injured. And that's what stopped The Rock a few years back, is he couldn't come into wrestling because they said, nope, you get hurt, you're done. We're going to void your contract out. And he couldn't afford to lose that money. So, does John or The Rock have to play it safe? Yeah, they have to play it safe, yeah, the WWE may pay him pretty well, but not as well as Hollywood's paying him. You know.
Yeah, and this is you bring up The Rock, and this brings up a question. Will we see The Rock actually do the same thing? Some type of a retirement tour? Because technically the Rock technically has not retired. I mean, he hasn't said this is my last match. So the question is are we going to see The Rock do something like that? And which leads to two more questions. Who do we think John Cena's last opponent's going to be? Will it be The Rock? Because it would make sense if he has the, if Cody drops the tires to John Cena at WrestleMania, John Cena is going to probably have a lengthy run. Will that lead to The Rock causing him the title in some type of a match against whoever, which will lead to John Cena's last match being against The Rock? The second question is with The Rock, who do you think could possibly be The Rock's choice for his last match?
To be honest, it should be Randy or CM Punk. I think, to be honest, because both Randy and CM Punk have a good history with John. I'd also say Edge, but that's not an option at this point.
Or would it be Roman Reigns, the match that we've all been waiting to see?
But
that fans have been waiting to see. I really don't care to see it.
We've already seen that though. He already put Roman over one time. Cena's lost to Roman.
No, I said The Rock.
Oh, yeah. See, now I'm thinking it's probably Roman for The Rock. Yeah. You know, I don't. Other than Austin, I can't think of anybody that's really had that much of a shaping of a career. Well, Austin, Undertaker, Triple H. Triple H would have been a good farewell too, but that's not going to happen either. So yeah, my guess would be Roman for The Rock. So
yeah, but John Cena, I mean, I agree. Those would get, John Cena against Roman Reigns. I mean, John Cena against
Randy or Punk.
Randy Orton, yeah, but I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be The Rock. I have a feeling that this whole storyline is going to last his entire run. So
I don't really remember The Rock and Cena going at it. Rock was pretty much gone by the time Cena rose into a position of power. Yeah, they met at WrestleMania, but other than that, I don't think these guys had multiple run-ins. Not like CM Punk and Cena or Randy Orton and Cena. So yeah, I think that'd be a fitting ending to a storyline. Yeah, The Rock versus Cena.
yeah, let's see. Oh, at WrestleMania 29, Cena defeated The Rock to win the title.
Yeah, I said they met at WrestleMania.
Yeah. But I think that's the only time they met, though.
I think so too. To be honest, I could be wrong. So
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure already out of the WWE by the time Cena rose to a position of power.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the recap of Elimination Chamber. I would give it a B plus.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to go anywhere, and I'd be hard pressed to go any other answer. I'd give it a B plus.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was very happy with it. There really wasn't any matches that you and I was like, let's go have a smoke outside. We in between matches, and something that you have brought up that I agree with about the long entrance for them. Every single time we decided to go have a cigarette between a match, they were literally starting the introductions at that point. We went outside. It's not like we rushed. We had a smoke. We bullshit, came back in. And I'd be goddamn if the introduction still wasn't happening. WWE needs to shorten the introductions. It's way too fucking long, in my opinion.
Yeah, because our singers are like 5 to 6 minutes easily.
Yeah. I mean, holy shit. And I never really realized how long it was until I started paying attention. And then last night, with us having cigarettes coming back in, I'm like, are they still doing the entrances? I mean, it must have took at least 10 minutes. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it felt like it, 10 minutes to introduce everybody in the Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
and I think the Elimination Chamber was kind of rushed on
Yeah.
I didn't really start noticing entrance until we started doing this podcast, and I was hard pressed to finish an episode before a podcast one time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I saved 7 minutes just by skipping an entrance, and then
Yeah.
brought to my attention. We just don't pay attention to it. But yeah, WWE can knock out 28 minutes out of any of their airings by entrance alone.
Yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, that is the recap of the Elimination Chamber PLE. Again, Tuesday, we're going to have B. Brian Blair on to do a recap of Monday Night Raw with Mark, Bob, and myself. Then beforehand, on Monday, I have a guest that was on WWE. He wrestled for WCW, and that is Casey Thompson. I'm real excited about that one. And I have some other guests coming very soon as well. So subscribe to the channel, to our YouTube channel. And so you guys don't miss this, because I have been posting our podcast on social media. Probably in the next couple of months, that's going to end. The only way you can see the podcast is if you are on YouTube or subscribe to our channel. So other than that, Mark, you got anything to add?
Nope, but if the last feedback you got was just me passing gas, ring the damn bell.
Ring the damn bell, guys. See you guys tomorrow for the interview with Casey. And until then, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday.